crack on. There we go. So we've got Mr. David Cross, the original Psycho. How are we, David? How are you, my friend?
I'm all right now that I've managed to connect with you, Ross. I'm not very good, am I?
Do you know what? It's one of these things. Technology is a wonderful thing when it works, isn't it? But when it it doesn't.
But I just didn't know what to do. If my kids are here, they'll help me and sort me out. But I didn't know what to do.
And you saw your daughter at the 100 yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kate's the captain of the Manchester team. Yeah,
fantastic. I'm loving the 100. I think it's a really cool format. I like all the graphics and stuff as well. It makes it look really funky.
Yeah, it's different. It's not for old school cricket fans. It's not what they want. But to be fair, Russ, it's somebody running up with a ball trying to get someone out who's got a bat in the hand. So it's just the same.
Yeah,
it's just different. A different way of looking at it, and it has been fun. The girls really love it. I mean, Kate's an England Test player and a one-day player, but she's really enjoyed the cricket, and so have all the girls. Even though they've only won one game, they haven't done particularly well. Even though they've got a very good team with some good international players, but they just haven't won a game. But they're all enjoying it. So really, sport is about enjoyment, isn't it? If they're enjoying it, why don't we?
Indeed. And we enjoyed last season. We're rapidly coming into the new season. It seems to take a shorter period every close season. Seems to get shorter and shorter between the season finishing and starting again. So
with the pandemic, I think that's because it kind of drifted on. The previous season drifted right on, didn't it? And then there was hardly any gap between. But I mean, to be fair, Russ, I don't know about you, but sport has kept me going. Being able to watch it on TV. I remember when the pandemic first started for us, then there was no sport on telly. I think I had to cancel my Sky because there was no sport. There was no cricket, there was no football, there's no nothing. So to be able to watch sport now has been a lifesaver in many respects. I mean, I know that's an exaggeration, but I'm sure you know what I mean.
I think it's true. There's only so much Netflix and stuff that I can watch. So, sport is always there's always something happening, isn't it? Whether it was like obviously the football season finished and we had the Euros, then we had the Olympics, we had the 100, we had the Lions. So we had lots of stuff to keep us going. And then this weekend, Premier League starts again. Can't wait.
It's been good. The sport's been good. Russ, go back a minute to Netflix. Just explain, please. Not Netflix. What's
Netflix?
that?
Oh, every it seems to have
sounds very rude. It's not one of those you're going to get a knock on the door, is it?
It's not one of them ones. It's full of useless series of TV channels of shows that my wife has seemed to manage to complete. I don't know how she's managed to do it, but there we're in. So no, but as I said, the season starts. Fans back in the stadiums as well.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is good. I just hope it's safe enough. I mean, I was at the game yesterday at Old Trafford in Manchester, and it was packed for the cricket, but then sometimes you wonder, are we still being safe here? No masks, no social distancing, no nothing. But obviously the government seem to have got it sorted. I think, 70% of people have been double vaccinated now anyway, haven't they?
Yeah.
So hopefully everything's okay. But I think we've still got to be careful.
Yeah, we still have to be careful. And I think there's, as long as precautions are made and stuff like that, and people are still getting their jabs, and we just got to live with it now, I think, isn't it? Sort of like the flu and everything like that, isn't it? It's just another thing.
My wife's been telling me to take precautions, but I think it was something else she had in mind. You're laughing.
Well, I mean, still, it's very important.
You're speechless, Russ, aren't you?
Well, David, I'm more proud more than anything than speechless, to be honest. That's very good. No, as long as you take precautions, everyone's all right, isn't it? So, that's really thrown me. I love it. Anyway, season ahead, David. West Ham, season ahead. What are we thinking? How do you think we're going to perform in the Premier League this season?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, if I knew how we were going to perform, I'd put £100 down at William Hill's and
definitely
get some money back. But it's a very competitive league, isn't it? And we did so well last year. And I think building on that, the manager's done well. I think the big thing for me last year was the recruitment. The signings were very good. I know the two Czech boys, that maybe a little bit further back than last season. But Dawson coming in, Bowen, the signings have been really good, and they look to me as though the players who want to play for West Ham, which is very important to me. I've, over the last 5 or 6 years, I think we've had some top players technically, but I've not been sure whether they actually wanted to play for West Ham. You'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Names, but we have lads now, I think, who really get the idea of what West Ham is, and from my point of view, that was the biggest thing for me when I signed for the club all those years ago. That John Lyle explained to me about the club and about the area, and about the fans and what it meant to them, and I got that quite quickly, and I think that was the best thing that happened to me. And I think it's important that they buy into, let's say, what Mark Noble is. Mark Noble gets us. He is, he is West Ham. He knows what the club is, and I think those two Czech boys and Bowen, Dawson, they bought into that and understood it, and they seem to want to play for the club, and they seem a good group of players. They seem to be a group of players who want to get a job done without actually being the highlight themselves.
Exactly.
So it's a team thing, which, and I know we go back 40 odd years to when I was at West Ham, but our team was a good team. We worked for one another, we worked hard for one another, and I think that's what these lads are doing now. So going back to your question, I think that we've got a good chance of doing as well, if not better, than last year. I mean, we're in Europe, aren't we?
Indeed.
So that might be a little bit of a difficulty, because you've got those extra games, you've got the travelling, and it's sometimes not as easy as that. Fans might think, oh well, they're playing on Thursday night and flying home on Friday, why can't they play on Sunday? But you do get tired with a bit of jet lag, even though it's a couple of hours, that's all. But it can take its toll, and sometimes that can have an impact on a season in the domestic point of view.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right. I think it's an unknown quantity for us in sort of recent years to be in sort of the group stages in Europe. We tend to always lose in the qualifiers, so we'll see what effect it has on the team. And obviously, we said, you said 40 years ago, it was 41 years ago. The FA Cup. Oh, can we have one this year, or a League Cup would be nice? Something like that this year.
Yeah, and again, I hate going back and saying, oh, in our time, but going back to that particular season, there was a lot of pressure on us because we're in the second division. There was a lot of pressure on us to get promoted, and the FA Cup was actually a bit of a breather for us. It was a breath of fresh air. We could relax a little bit and play in a game where that result didn't mean 3 points, and would we get to the top of the table and get promoted? Because we were very conscious of the fact that we were a second division team. We didn't feel we were a second division team, but we knew that's where we were. As far as our players were concerned, we considered ourselves to be first division players, but that was us having a hood over our eyes, really. We were in the second division. We had to get out of it, and that was the big thing. But the FA Cup was almost like just a little breather for us. And I didn't play in the first couple of rounds because I was injured, and I only came back in the fifth round. But it was just almost like just a relaxation playing the FA Cup, and somehow we found ourselves in the quarterfinals, then the semi-final, then we're in the final, and we won it. So it was good for us. So hopefully that can happen with this group, and they can just they can have a good run. But cups, anything can happen. Anything can happen in football or in any sport, Russ. So, and the FA Cup is notorious, isn't it? You play the best team in the land and you beat them, and then you play a third division team and they beat you. So you've got to be careful. Predictions are very difficult.
Oh, they are. They're very difficult. I mean, for me, it'd be nice, as you said, you mentioned Mark. It's obviously Mark's last season as a player at West Ham this season coming. So it would be nice to sort of, send him off to maybe coaching or whatever, but, lifting a cup, or, just because it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Because he's been around this would be his 18th season at the club, over 500 and something games. It's going to be a strange. It's just I'm trying to think. Was anyone that you played with, David, who sort of announced their retirement before the season started? So
No, I've never come across that. It
it's
is
strange.
unusual. Yeah, it is unusual. I don't know how he'll cope with it really, but he's just an honest player, isn't he? You get what you see is what you get. You know, I know that people might say technically maybe not a Trevor Brooking, or you know, defensively maybe he's not a Billy Bonds or a Declan Rice, if you like, defensively, because Declan is probably one of the best defensive midfielders I've seen for quite a while, especially from such a young lad who senses danger so quickly. But Mark gives you what everything he has. You know you're going to get 90 minutes, and you're going to get your money's worth out of him. So he's been a fantastic player for the club, and the type of character that you need, and possibly the type of character in the dressing room who will instill stuff in other lads.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. And obviously, you know, away from the sort of London Stadium itself, you know, it's great that I've been to a few of the older, you know, all the ex-player nights are coming back. Are you going to the one at the Hilton, aren't you, in next month?
Yes, yeah, the goalkeepers one. Yeah,
we'll be there. We'll be there. Looking forward to it.
I'll look forward to buying you a pint.
Yeah. Hopefully the ice cream man don't turn up. If you don't know what me and David are talking about, go and watch David's Miami's 11. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great, isn't it? I've been to a few already, and you talk about the bond. You talk about players and back in the day, and how maybe, you know, there was a period of time where they weren't last sort of 5 or 6 years. Players who really got West Ham. I mean, you know, as you said, you talk about all you boys, you know, from it was 1980 or the 86. You know, people still come out in their droves to listen to the stories and talk and meet you guys. So it's brilliant. I love it. I saw one with Maka TC and Waldy the other day. Yes, on Friday went to one with Alvin, Waldy again, TC again, Georgie Paris, who was there, Dicko, and Steve Walford. So it was great. I love it, and I can't wait for the goalkeepers one. It's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. I'm not greatly fond of goalkeepers, to be honest. I used to have quite a lot of striker. Yeah, I used to have quite a lot of run-ins with them. But Phil's my big mate. So Big Parksy is my big mate. So it'd be great to see him again.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him and great to see lots of the fans. David, look, thank you very much for your time. It was only a quick chat just to see what your thoughts are for the season and stuff.
I haven't done anything, have I? I haven't given you anything. I've just stood on every fence I could possibly stand on, haven't I?
David, if you've stood on every fence, it means that you can't be wrong.
Well, that's true. Actually, I got it wrong. You sit on a fence, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. The one thing you've actually done, you did wrong. You did it incorrectly. But David, I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. I'm looking forward to catching up in September at the Maudeville promotion event as well. So,
well, there'll be a beer on the bar for you.
I hope so. I hope so. I told Mrs. Budden that I'm drinking that night. So there we go.
Don't forget to take precautions.
Take precautions. Always wear a mask.
It wasn't what I was thinking of.
I know, but this is a family channel. But
innuendos are a very good thing.
They're very good. Double entendres. But yeah, it's my birthday. It's my 40th the week after.
You're only 40?
I know. Moisturize is the key. Only 40.
Wow.
But yeah. So how exciting.
It's
so that's the week
for me yet, Ross. 40.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah, you're looking good, man. You're looking good.
You too, man. You're looking great as ever, man. It's lovely to talk to you. Always lovely to talk to you.
And you. Thanks for getting through the technology. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. See you soon, mate. Take
Cheers,
care.
Ross.